Hello, I hope you guys are doing fantastic. And today I wanted to talk about why success in trading requires boredom. I truly believe this is an important topic or an important issue a lot of traders face in their journey. And once you get to the point where skill is no longer an issue, and I truly believe this is the case, right? Where skill is no longer an issue, and then now psychology become a predominant, I would say, like the biggest problem that you have, you're going to realize the reason why you keep going in cycle over and over and over is primarily because of boredom. And why is it important to embrace boredom? Why is it important to not look at it as something extremely negative, right? Trading, it at some point is going to get boring because you're going to realize that you are literally taking the exact same setup, the exact same type of entry. If you get to the point where you're profitable over and over and over and over again. But I wanted to talk about today why, first of all, we look at boredom as something as negative, right? I wanted to kind of bring a little bit of a comparison, like a parallel, if that makes sense. You see, since we were little, we were kids, and as we grow up, we are taught that boredom or inactivity, in a sense, is not something that's good. Because in reality, what causes boredom, right, is the fact that you're not doing anything. It's the fact that perhaps you're sitting on your hand and then you're not touching or nothing is happening, right? And that's inactivity. However, inactivity in itself is activity in the world of trading. If you're not taking any trade, if you're not engaging with the market, if you're not doing anything per se, you're protecting capital. Believe it or not, right? Yes, you could be missing on an opportunity. Even if, let's say, for example, you miss your opportunity, it is still an activity because you're protecting capital. That's a way to rewire your brain. That's something that's very, very important, because the people that succeed in trading are not the one that make the crazy amount of profit in one day or 1 month or even 1 year. They are the one that I can preserve capital long enough to see themselves build a strong foundation where they can diversify and no longer rely on trading itself to sustain their style of living. That's the reality when it comes down to success in trading. You are literally surviving. It's the same thing with anything that anything that you do when it comes down to business. Any business that's operating, let's say, in a different field. Ultimately, most business in general, because trading, I look at it as a business, we're trying to survive long enough so that we have a foundation that can allow us to maybe diversify into other arenas. And I truly believe this is where you need to rewire your mind as to what is important. Why do you think that way? And once you do that, you start to realize that ever since we are little, we are being taught in class, for example, if you're not doing anything, if you're not paying attention in class, what does your professor tells you or your teacher tells you? Why are you paying attention? Are you participating? That's not a good thing. Hey, go to the corner. Oh, they punish you. If you're at work and you're not participating or doing any sort of work, why did they tell you? You get written up or you can potentially lose your job. Inactivity throughout our life is not looked at as something that's positive. So it's a very, very hard, natural behavior to bring to trading. So in the beginning, once you start getting to the point where you find your footing, you understand that your highest probability entry is not going to appear every single day. It's not going to come every single day the market open or every single hour of the day. You need to sometimes sit on your hand and be patient, like 80% of the time, right? And then 20% of the time you engage, or maybe 10% of the time you engage, and then you in and out, right? It requires patience. What does people typically do? We're not in a society that breed patience. We're in a consumer society. We're in an instant gratification society. First step to mastering yourself is understanding your environment. Because if you never really understand how your environment influences you to operate, how can you get better? How can you? You're just going to keep repeating the same exact thing, hoping to make a different result, and that's called insanity. So I would say for me, I have taken a lot of B plus setup or even C plus setup in some cases along my journey when I had already figured out what was my A plus setup. And I look back and I say, why was I doing that? And I realized when I was doing it was primarily because I was very impatient, not letting certain days, like I would go, for example, I want to give you an example. I would go 2-3 days, right? I would not see an A plus setup. And then on the third day, and I'll be like, oh man, I need to potentially jump into the market to do something. And I found myself pressing the button for no reason, where I could have just be patient. And one thing, and I'm going to talk about the solution to that. One thing that helped me, I would say, starting to suppress that emotion is backtesting and journaling. Now that I'm starting to practice a lot more consistently at a more frequent rate, I found myself on those days when I don't find an opportunity, being more patient. I started journaling also heavily, journaling my position, journaling even like my way of reading the market. Even if there's no opportunity, I make sure that I go to the entire session or most of that session as if I'm working an entire 8-hour shift, right? Doing those things, those little things, like really trying to gear my mind to focus more on the process has been something that has been shifting my mind, almost helping with the brainwashing to start thinking more so from the perspective of a profitable day trader. And those are the little things, right, that needs to be readjusted, because I've seen a lot of people that get to the point where they have the skill set, they have everything, but the only thing is to rewire the psychology. And one of the biggest, I would say the biggest aspect of success in trading, in my personal opinion, is boredom. If you can learn to accept boredom will become the catalyst that will take you to the next level. So I hope this was insightful. That's something that I struggled with for a long period of time, and I just felt like this would be a great topic for a lot of other people out there that are also going through the same journey, the same similar struggle, to maybe learn from, and hopefully there's something positive that you take from this video. With that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.